Welcome to 26 Ways to Letter on YouTube. I will be posting one letter a week and we will work our way through the alphabet. The practice sheets I'll be using are from my workbook, Fearless Lettering. I will link to it below if you want to use them for extra practice, or you can just follow along right here. If you practice on your own and want to share on Instagram, I'd love to see your work. Feel free to use the hashtags Fearless Lettering or Fearless Friday Letters. Alright, let's get started. 26 ways to letter A. If you are going to trace along with me, you might want to use tracing paper. I am going to letter directly on my book so that it's easier for you to see. Today I'll be using Crayola Broadline marker. I really like these markers. This is how I got started. They're very affordable, great way to start. So let's look at the basic strokes for our A. So we just have a simple oval and then we have the underturn. So with the oval, you want to make sure that you start on this side so that you can connect your thin stroke together instead of connecting your thick stroke. For the underturn, thick down, then up. Make sure that you are releasing your thick pressure before the curve. So you don't want any of this curve to be thick. So now we can connect them right here. You can see that where I traced, it's not exactly on my original letter, and that's okay. Don't worry about getting it exact because the point is that you're just practicing. So the goal is not for you to be able to letter each one of these exactly the same every time. The goal is so that you can come up with your own. So let's talk about this first one right here. You can choose any shape you want in place of this regular oval. Okay, so now this one of the fun ways to change things up is to change where your letters sit on the baseline. Alright, and now for this one, so the oval is a little bit squished, and then this tail comes out a lot longer, and this would be maybe a more elegant style. Maybe there's going to be a lot more space between the letters in my word. So one of the rules of lettering is that your downstrokes are all at the same angle. If they're at this angle, they're all at this angle. So with this one, you can see that these are not at the same angle. So once you know that rule, you can change it to how you like it. See how I even moved the angle of my pen? All right, so this one is pretty thick. This tail is a lot longer. This one kind of is a sharp turn right there. And then this one over here, this doesn't even connect, and the tail is a lot shorter. This one is a totally different style of A, and there's lots of different variations of this too, right? Just by changing the length, the height. All right, and then this one is really loopy. So instead of just a simple downstroke for the underturn, it loops around. And then this one over here also has the really short tail. It's a little more chunky than this one over here that was kind of similar. All right, now with this one, the downstroke right here is a lot higher than the oval. All right, and we've got another one of this style, and this one, this overhanging part comes down a lot more and it's almost touching the oval. All right, so that's with the lowercase a. So I want you to think about which one do you like the best? Is there any that you really like? Or maybe there's something about one that you like better. So maybe you like this really long tail. Maybe you want it to be more of this wide oval with the tail. So Now you get to look at these and come up with your own, because these are definitely not the only ways you can letter a lowercase a. All right, let's move on to uppercase A. So my video got cut off without me noticing, so I'm going to use tracing paper. See, I already did this one, so I'm going to use tracing paper to finish this up. So this one has a little loop. One good thing about tracing paper is that you can see your letter and compare it. So it's a little bit different. See, my top was a little bit more rounded. So that way with tracing paper, I can see the differences that I made without having the gray on the bottom. Okay, so this one has two different baselines. And the cross stroke is higher. This one, the cross stroke is really high and you can barely even see the little triangle in there. And this one is also pretty thick. So even the upstroke is pretty thick. All right, this one is very rounded, very wide, and the cross stroke is really low. Here we have a serif style. So serif just means that it has the little tails. This one is very wide apart. It's pretty sharp though. This one could almost be an oval. If you continue these down, they will meet eventually. So that's different from these ones go kind of straight, these ones go apart from each other, these ones are going to touch eventually. This one is a script A, so it looks like a lowercase a, but it's taller and skinnier so that it looks like it's a capital A just by the size. All right, this one's pretty sharp. Also kind of flowy, elongated. This one right here is very round. And then this one right here has a very different baseline. It's very round and kind of curvy cross stroke. This one right here is very elongated and then a little curl at the end. And see how I made mine even more curved to the inside than the original. And then I can decide if I like that or not. Okay, and this one with the cross stroke, it doesn't come to the other side. It just starts right there. So that's a fun thing with uppercase A. You get to decide where this goes. So you get to decide if it's going to connect. So this one couldn't connect to another letter because it's going down, but like this one right here, it's going up. So maybe this is going to connect to my L or something. I like that cross stroke. So one tip I have for you is while you're lettering these, try to describe them. What's the feeling? Is it elegant? Is it loopy? Is it very straight and chunky? As you start to describe them, you'll start noticing different fonts and styles, and you'll be able to see what style you like the best. At the end of each video, I'll be lettering a word starting with the letter of the week. You may want to practice this word yourself and see if you can come up with a different style than mine. Comment below with your favorite uplifting word starting with B, and I will choose one to letter in my video for next week. So today I will be lettering the word amazing. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe below, and I will see you next week.